Alright, hello, so I'm streaming today and it's a Saturday, which is pretty unusual, but I've got no work today because it offers holiday. So there you go. So I've not really done much today, other than sort of be sleepy and do stuff around the house. I hope everybody is alright. Had a nice birthday yesterday, but obviously was busy nearly all day because seeing people and that for it. I hope everybody's alright. There's no particular theme for this stream, but if we find stuff we want to talk about, then we'll talk about it. I might just do a 30-minute stream today rather than an hour one. We'll see how many people come on. No, it says there's 17 people on already, but obviously not 17 comments yet. But don't forget to like the stream as well if you've come in on. All right, Mike. Was your stream good last night? I didn't catch any more of it after I just did the brief little stream yesterday. Because I was quite tired in all honesty last night. No, I have no idea what that is. Like Boldentelski? I can do another video on them, but I can't really show them in streams because YouTube rules means you can't show them in streams. But hello, Ultrix, hello, Ty, hello, everybody else that's joining. But yeah, the video that will go on tomorrow will be quite good. It's of the Lee Enfield bayonet being attached and then being used against pumpkins, and it turns out it literally does chop like a sword if you've got the weight of a Lee Enfield behind it. So that's by far the scariest bayonet I've got. Yeah, thank you, Nerd Central, I did. But yeah, the only thing with the Lee Enfield bayonet we found is quite often you could get it to go fully into a pumpkin, and then it was really difficult to pull it out because of, the length of the bayonet. So your phone cracked or the AK mag cracked, Adam? Which one? All right, Richard. Sadly, I don't think they do, Ivan. I think nearly all of them are just literally airtight sealed in a plastic bag, which isn't really good enough. Yeah, well, I suppose a phone would be weaker, wouldn't it, than a bit of a Kalashnikov? Oh, that's very cool, Mike. So that's called Ko-Fi, is it? I mean, I probably don't need that because I've got Super Chat. That's a good alternative for you, isn't it? Right, I've got a Cold Steel replica, sort of replica of a Cold Steel Gladius tire, and that's pretty good, but I don't have like one of an actual sword profile style blade. Well, basically, they didn't even think of that, Ivan. I think the idea is you open it, you use it, and then you throw it away. But yeah, like I said, it's not a very good thing because sometimes even in storage, the plastic gets ripped. So, they're not airtight in storage. But yeah, Roman Gladius would be perfectly functional as a sword. The only thing is, compared to like later swords, it's quite a fat blade. So, the Roman Gladius wouldn't thrust quite as well. Well, yeah, I'm still using it all the time I was out. When we went bowling yesterday, we were the only people there wearing masks other than the staff. So there's like 30 other people who had just taken their masks off as soon as they were away from the front door. Yeah, that's good, Mike. Yeah, that sounds very good. Now you're doing streams. I don't actually know, Ivan. I've not looked enough into random filters to see. On my free time, I'm obviously doing YouTube stuff. But if you mean other than when I'm doing YouTube stuff and I'm not at work, playing video games, watching films, hanging out with friends. You, in theory, can, David, but they seem to be sold out. But D&B Militaria sometimes get them in. No, I've never been in the army, Keith, and I've answered every time it gets asked. I'm just going to quickly warn you, USC, whatever your name is. If you're on about like people doing weird videos of me, just don't talk about them. Don't give them any attention. No, I have no interest in MREs, as I've said before, because they're horribly overpriced for the most part. Yeah, it was good. Thank you, TXC Gaming. Yeah, but the thing is that unless I see him, I don't know that you see. But I'm saying are a lot where it's basically, butt hurt people. Yeah, I've got 2 real rifles, but again, no ammunition for them because British gun laws. No, you can't link to it regardless, even if you wanted to. Have they, David? Because I thought B&B Military still had a load in. Have a look. No, they've still got them in on D&B Militaria, depending on the condition at various prices. All right. So it's just a strange video then, Tyre, is it? But like I said, I've not really got much interest in all the sort of videos like that. No, there was no check source Boldingtowski. What it was is at the bottom, the little bit that unscrewed, that would be the bit where the check source would be put in. Where the next video is coming Sunday, like it always does. Normally always Wednesday, Friday, Sunday for videos, plus streams most of the time. If you're on about official merch, you can see I'm literally wearing it on me. Look in the thing below. It's hard to tell on these public streams now how many people are just making comments to try and start arguments. Because, when we're on a member stream, everybody's generally just asking sensible questions. But on these, there's people saying, do you have something when it's literally on the screen? And I can never tell if people just haven't spotted it somehow, or they're doing it to be irritating. 100 odd something gas masks, close to 150, but I've given some away recently in that, so not as many as I once had. I'm just waiting for sensible questions to come in. Now, the thing is, Joe, it's a mixed bag, though, isn't it? Because if you have strict gun laws, you have less sort of random shootings. Yeah, what is your favourite gas mask? Will be another one, Mike. But yeah, what I just need to do later today is edit the video together of all the pumpkins being chopped up from yesterday, because I've got them all on my phone, but I haven't edited them together. Edited them together yet. So that'll be that, editing the pumpkin videos together, put on for tomorrow. Then I'll need to get the Halloween video filmed for next week during the week, plus just a couple of other random videos. Over halfway there, I'd say Gash Goblin, but again, it depends on what price it sells for when one pops up. Because again, like I said, if somebody wants silly money for it, I wouldn't pay silly money for one. So it really depends on what price they put them on there for. But I'd say over halfway for one that's being sold at a sensible price. Because in general, unless I get any extra money each month, I'm putting about £1,000 towards it. I'm still waiting for some actual questions again. Yeah, for the people that don't know, we don't really go into politics on the stream because it just causes people to argue. Obviously I don't make the laws of the UK, I just follow them, whether I agree with them or not, Whereas, Yeah, that's the problem, Mike, isn't it? I suppose stuff like that, they'll just literally. I suppose it might be useful for regular people, but yeah, there's always that stuff, isn't there, at the moment, where people who are going to be idiots are going to be idiots. With scopes or iron sights, Ala Junro, sorry, I probably horribly pronounced your name. Things like the S10 or any mask of forward-facing optics are all right for shooting with scopes and iron sights. So S10, Shums, PBF, FM12. No, not a hangover today, James. Weirdly, I had more of one on my birthday itself because I drank more the night before my birthday, playing video games and mates, than I did yesterday. Because I was having to drive yesterday for people because so many of my mates don't drive. I didn't get to have any like beer until I got home at like 10 o'clock. Are you looking at the plasma ball or like a filter that's on there? That's all right, Bowling Tail. See, I suppose it depends if you want to get time off or something, doesn't it, due to COVID symptoms or not, or if you want to be like still doing what you're doing. Richard said, found someone who sells the SCH40 PVC pipe in the UK. You can make bows of it. We'll need to buy some pre-made Manchu something or other from AliExpress, but I reckon then I have a PVC Manchu bone. That sounds good, Rich. No, virus is getting out of control in the UK, runs. With the right firearms licenses, you can own rifles. Again, it really depends what you mean by. But yeah, no, the corona situation in the UK is not good. I'll open up the BBC for today and see if there's any more news on corona. But no, it's just more places going into tier 3 lockdowns with no plans on how they're going to get out of them. Schools might have to shut down some years. Yeah, it's not going to plan, is it? That's not a bad price at all for an M40, is it? $50. But yeah, that's the thing. The numbers are going up and up here, but obviously people are less and less compliant with the rules because they've got bored of them. And because the government's just being too pussyfooting to go, oh, we just need to do another national lockdown, it's all just going to shit. So they're just going to stretch out the economic damage rather than doing like properly applied lockdowns where people are compensated for a bit, open up and then lockdown again, which is kind of what they need to do, I think. But what they're basically doing is just putting stronger and stronger restrictions for like really long amounts of time on certain places, and it's not even stopping the spread very much. Right, okay, 47. Yeah, exactly, Joe. The price a lot of people want from now, it's not bad at all, is it? It's definitely not going away by Christmas. It's going to get worse around Christmas because when you're into the proper cold and flu season, it's going to be much harder to tell COVID from colds and flu. And as well, people with colds and flu are going to be more vulnerable to corona because they've already got one infection in their system. I'm all right, Sheep Strangler. Bit tired. Had a really good day yesterday, but a bit tired now. But all in all, just having a relaxing day today, editing some videos together, spending time with family, stuff like that. You can use a GP5 outside during Corona if you really wanted to. I really doubt Rance gas mask prices are going to go lower than usual. Every time I've looked, they're going up. They're not as bad as they were when Corona first started, but they're not cheap at the moment, at least not in the UK. You know, lots of people want still £100 plus for an S10. David, he has a question about the PMG gas mask. I bought a medium and it's tight, but I can tolerate it for about 15 minutes. So I bought a large and it's so tight I can... All right, are you sure it's a large you got and not a small? They use a different sizing system to British masks. So a size 2 PMG, for example, is smaller than the size 3 PMG. As in raining very heavily, Peach. It was raining a bit here earlier, I don't think. It's not raining heavily here. Oh, I'd recommend you clean a mask after you've worn it. That's all right, Sheep Strangler. There wasn't much on the stream last night because Weapon Collector was doing the stream. I just wanted to do one quickly when I got in. But it was only like a 20-minute or so stream because it was just saying hello to anybody that really came on. Cheers, 666, Jep. So in the video where we smashed the pumpkins up was pretty interesting because I was amazed at how well the Lee Enfield bayonet actually cuts with a bit of force behind it. As in, there was one bit where I swung it at a pumpkin, not expecting it to do it, and then, you know, the entire pumpkin sliced in half sort of on the diagonal. Because, yeah, it turns out that it literally turns the Lee Enfield into a pole arm with one of those bayonets on it. I've not got an MSA Millennium. I've got an MSA MCU2P. It's an all right mask, but unfortunately mine's leaky and, you know, useless. I can't be asked to try and repair it for, you know, the quality of the mask. Yeah, Mike, what we found out, you'll see in the video, but what we found out from the Lee Enfield bayonet is you can use it obviously hand-to-hand, but when you're using it, interestingly, hand-to-hand, you don't get anywhere near as much force out of the bayonet than when it's on a rifle. So, you know, say you do a thrust like that of the rifle, I know it's like a leverage thing, but thrusting with a rifle, it will go up to its guard into a pumpkin. If you stabbed it as hard as you could like that, you know, it'll probably go 6-7 inches in. So that was interesting. But yeah, it was just when it was on the rifle, the only problem we found was over penetration. And that was one of the reasons they actually shortened bayonets in the long run, you know, to like 6 to 9 inches or whatever, rather than having the old, you know, like 17-inch bayonets. Because once you've got it in, it's actually really difficult to pull it out. So what we were doing was like, you know, lifting the pumpkin up on the rifle like that, and it still wasn't coming off. So there'll be quite a lot of like blooper bits in it where we're just all trying to yank the bayonet off of a pumpkin because of how much it's stuck in without, you know, like smashing the pumpkin to pieces. Yeah, exactly. You've got more weight with it behind the rifle. And I think it's better for thrusting because you've got kind of a better angle you can do with your arms, like a spear, rather than just trying to do that at a slightly odd angle how you're holding it. I'm pretty sure nearly every country uses some sort of dog tag, Joe. Yeah, Richard, that's the thing. The Enfield bayonet will penetrate up to 17 inches. It literally goes up to its hilt into a pumpkin, you know, to the point the blade's massively sticking out the other side, but then it's awkward to get it out. That doesn't make any sense, David, because a size 3 PMG is bigger than a size 2. So all I could think is if one's been accidentally shrunk. But yeah, I can certainly see with bayonets, you know, why lots of them ended up being, you know, this length or shorter, because that's still quite long for a bayonet. But ideally, you just want a Fairbairn Sykes length blade, don't you, as a bayonet, really? That would be, you know, the ideal length. There was a birthday stream yesterday, Henry, but you didn't come on. I suppose AK bayonets are probably quite a good length, aren't they? That's like the perfect bayonet length, because it would, yeah, I did just a members one because I was only going to be on for like 20 minutes. But yeah, the length for these aren't all that long. But yeah, like Richard was saying, you've got the problem of over penetration with bayonets. Weirdly, that was the first time I experienced that yesterday of thrusting them. No, I've not got any Rondo or Bollocks daggers, unfortunately, Bill. I know Todd Cutler does some really good ones, doesn't he? But I've not got any. Yeah, well, bayonets made a lot of sense when the guns didn't shoot as fast, so the chance was that you would end up in close quarters battle with them, and you'd be stabbing or bludgeoning people with stuff. That made a lot of sense. But yeah, I can totally understand after using a really long bayonet, as much as it kills horribly, I can understand why they just said, bayonets don't need to be this long. Yeah, and the other thing, AK-47, is you can use it as a wire cutter and everything, can't you? I don't know how effective it was USB gaming, but I know it probably would kill people if it was stabbed into them, like all those trench fighting weapons. You didn't want to be on the receiving end of it. All right, Lisa? None of the stuff I need, Christopher, needs licenses for it. There are stuff in the UK you need licenses to own, but I don't own that stuff. Oh, the old trifoil, not trifoil, cruciform ones. You mean those SKS bayonets? That's all right, USB Gaming. I don't mind reading the comments if it's a sensible question. Well, you can still use it, Jonas. It's just a bit awkward, but I don't know why they did it that way. It might be something to do with the wire cutter, why it's almost like an upside-down blade. But the bit of it that you're meant to use in combat is the point, not the edge, anyway. Interestingly, David, the only thing I can think of is maybe one of them's the Hungarian PMG and one's the Soviet PMG. Do the voice diaphragm covers look different on them? And does one of them have Cyrillic writing on the side? And does one have like regular Roman sort of Latin characters? Because that's the only thing I can think that would be different, is because Hungarian PMGs aren't as good as the actual Soviet PMGs. Well, it's up to whoever makes the rifles. I think it'd be a shame if modern rifles didn't have bayonets on them, but they don't need to do anything too sophisticated. All they really need to do is just make a, compact little, decent knife that clips onto it. It was yesterday, but thank you, Miney, or however your name's pronounced. Yeah, that's the thing, Joe. So many people want silly amounts of money for loads of masks on eBay. But yeah, so that's what I'll be doing. As soon as this stream ends, I'm going to start editing the video together for the bayonet video. Then that can go on tomorrow at 5 p.m. Then I'll have to get the Halloween special filmed during the week for Saturday. So next week I might do a video Saturday, but not Sunday, for the Halloween special one. And I've got a couple of ideas for that, so I want to do the best one. Yeah, they certainly did, Badger. There's been a few people on denying that, but no, whenever I've looked at masks due to Corona, everything's gone up in price. Just like toilet paper and whatever else. No, because I don't own one, Christopher, so I can't show you one as I don't own one. That's right, Visa, but thank you. It was a nice day, but it's quite a tiring day, actually, because we were doing stuff nearly all day. That'd be interesting, Richard, wouldn't it? Like, you sing opera and then you're allowed a gun because of that reason. All right, happy birthday to you then, depressed manatee. If you can replace the Valve Storm Hunter with a new umbrella valve, that might fix it. But yeah, unfortunately, like we said, most masks sold as MP5 now are not MP5s. But yeah, I'll be off in a few minutes because I said I wasn't going to do a very long stream today, just because I've got quite a bit I need to do today. Where it was my birthday yesterday, I wasn't really doing anything around the house. So now a load of jobs have kind of cropped up that I need to get done. Sadly, Rance, the probability is you will get a bad one, because what Duke was saying is that the French tend not to surplus stuff that's in good condition. So yeah, it's a bit kind of a combination of quality control, but also the fact the ones they surplused were the ones in the really bad condition. That's interesting, David. I'm very confused by that now, then. That's French body armor. If you're looking at that, it's French riot armor. It's like the padded sort of stuff that goes all down your arm, so if somebody hits you with a bat, it doesn't break your arm. Yeah, it's hard to say, David. There are, like I said, there are other copies of the PMG and Shims and all those sort of masks, so it could be the reason the sizes don't match up and everything is because of which country made them. But yeah, a size 1 Shims would be for like essentially a child size head, wouldn't it? Even though it's meant to be an adult's masks. Oh, the only ones I've got Alex Saint, the ones you'd have seen on the videos, such as the Schmidt Rubin and the Martini Henry. Yeah, so yeah, tomorrow's video will be the one for those of you that didn't hear the Lee Enfield, the deactivated Lee Enfield with the real bayonet on it being used. As in like a statue head, David. Put a bit of paper around the edge of the like polystyrene head or whatever, and that will make the circumference of it a bit bigger, and it can stretch it that way. Yeah, but the problem was, Rance, the sizing wasn't even universal across all countries in like NATO and in the Soviet bloc. So you ended up getting masks that don't fit the sizing guides. Oh, if you own the right licenses for it, Joe, yes, you can get live ammo. For the webcam videos, Christopher, I always use, it's like the Logitech 1080p one. I know they do higher res ones in it, and I know they do, lower res ones, but it's whatever Logitech's 1080p webcam is. But I also use a Blue Snowball as the microphone. No, I don't use a GoPro. I've got a GoPro in a couple of videos, but you wouldn't use a GoPro for streaming. I've answered it before, Stormhunter, but I don't mind repeating it. I generally use either the MSA Advantage 410 with a vapor and particulate filter on it, so you basically just can't smell anything, and that's a 40mm half face respirator. So obviously it's like that on your face. It has straps around the back, straps around there. It has a 40mm filter on the front. And I often use the Strong M50G or whatever it's called, which is the one with the voice diaphragm that takes 3M filters. So I've got 2P3 filters on that one. I literally just answered somebody that Alex saying it's a Logitech one. If you go on Logitech's site, it's their most popular selling 1080p one. I can't remember the actual number name of it because it's got a random name like C920 or something. But it's the Logitech 1080p webcam with the 2 microphones on it, but I don't use the microphones on it because I've got a proper microphone down there. For the most part, Stormhunter, yes, but I suppose it depends what you're doing. If you're working in a COVID ward with a lot of people, I'd want a full face mask just for the extra, eye protection and all that. But for just going into a shop quickly, going out, half face masks are fine, especially, proper ones, proper respirator style ones, rather than, a bit of cloth tied over your mask. Well, I do have a couple of full face masks I occasionally use when I'm out, but that's when I know I'm going to be trapped in close quarters with people, if that makes sense, for quite a long time. But the problem is there's so many people refusing to wear masks at the moment. You go in a lot of places that are meant to have everybody, in a mask, and then you'll notice that as soon as people get past the front door, they just take their masks off. Only thing I can say to fix a crooked voice diaphragm, somebody, is stuff some paper inside the mask. So the mask, forms a certain shape, and then if you leave it like that for long enough, it should kind of even itself out over time. Anyway, I will finish in a minute. Oh, that's very cool. You got an SF10 that looks unissued. But yeah, I'll be off now because I've been on stream for half an hour, and as I said, I've got stuff to do today. I just wanted to do a quick one in the afternoon. It's not just children. I've seen plenty of adults that should know better of refusing to wear masks. And again, it's that really frustrating thing of a place where you have to have the mask on to go in. As soon as they get past like the front desk kind of thing, they take the masks off. So, there's people like, literally coughing and shouting about their masks on in an enclosed space. But yeah, so I'll stream tomorrow, probably in the evening tomorrow, and I'll get that video edited in a minute because, as I said, I need to get that done for tomorrow. And also free up some space on my phone, so I've probably got several gigabytes of pumpkin smashing video on there at the moment. Yeah, see you everybody. Have a good evening, afternoon, whatever, and I'll see you all tomorrow. Goodbye.